glad to have you all here.
Your heart starts pumping, interacting with the passionate fan base. now the pressure's on.
The Batmobile is no joke.
You are so good looking.
It's a completely different experience.
I'm dropping the mic.
DC Fandome. Explore the multiverse. Free for everyone 24 hours only. All fans welcome. September 12th only at DCFandome.com.
How's it going, people of the multiverse? Welcome to a DC Fandome kind of part 2 breakdown and kind of prediction video, in the sense that we've got a lot going on with DC Fandome, the second event. Because don't forget that DC Fandome was originally going to be that event, just a 2-day event on August 22nd, but then they decided to 3 days beforehand split it up. And even though we got a couple of DCTV panels, including Titans and The Flash, amongst all of that awesome movie stuff, this is the main weekend for the DCTV show stuff. And we're getting extended panels of the panels that we got at the prior event, such as The Flash and Titans, plus all the new panels for like Doom Patrol to Harley Quinn to freaking just everything. So this video, I'm going to be breaking down like what we can expect out of those panels, some predictions of what I think we're going to get, including suit reveals, footage, you name it. And honestly, I feel like some of the things I have a little bit of a gauge on. I could be completely wrong, but this is where I invite you guys to put in the comments down below what you want to see and what you think we actually might see, providing like some, you know, realistic expectations in mind, considering some of these shows haven't been filming. So as you just saw in that trailer, it kind of highlights some of what we're going to get. And this weekend, there's going to be tons of stuff. So not just DC TV panels, but loads of little tidbits and insights. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But you may have spotted the cast of Doom Patrol at 1 second in the trailer. And let's just start with Doom Patrol. So what do I expect to see from Doom Patrol? Well, honestly, a lot of these panels will be similar to that of what we got from the previous DC Fandom event, part 1, if you will, from The Flash and Titans. So if you guys tune into that, you should know exactly what I'm on about. Doom Patrol is most likely going to explore some of the Season 2, well, if not all of the Season 2 arcs for each character. I expect Diane Guerrero to talk about Crazy Jane's journey this season, which has been a wild ride for her, especially with Miranda. So the same applies for every character there. It would be awesome if they went into what we were going to get from the original finale, but then again, if we're getting a new season out of Doom Patrol, that would be self-cannibalized into the first episode of Season 3, you would have to imagine, with, you know, I don't want to get into spoilers, just for those who haven't seen Doom Patrol Season 2, and if you haven't, you're missing out, but there was meant to be a whole episode on top of that, where you can imagine certain stuff with the Candlemaker and Dorothy would have gone down. But speaking of that, this is kind of like the awkward silence in the room. What I'm really hoping DC is going to do, you would have thought with stuff like this, like all the other shows are, for example, Lucifer, The Flash, and stuff like that, they're going to talk about their tidbits and some insight into the following seasons. Will Doom Patrol do that? Well, they would have to be renewed. It would be really awesome if HBO Max or DC Fandome are saving that announcement for this panel. It wouldn't surprise me. I would be mad if we didn't get a Season 3. It would be down to stupid reasons, not due to the quality of the show or anything like that. And honestly, I do expect HBO Max to renew shows like Harley Quinn and Doom Patrol. It'd just be daylight robbery if we didn't get it. It would be so dumb. So I do expect a Season 3 renewal. All I'm hoping for is that it's not a third and final season. But going along the whole HBO Max side of shows, Titans. Let's talk about Titans, because we already got that panel where we were teased with quite a bit of information from the first part of DC Fandome, such as the announcement of Jonathan Crane's Scarecrow, as the Titans will be in Gotham. We got the introduction announcement of Barbara Gordon, Red Hood. Karen Walters is becoming Red Hood. A lot of you should already know this. But the panel labeled for September 12th is an extended panel, just like The Flash. So I expect them to go into quite a bit more detail. Whilst not giving too much away, they may just give a little bit of a premise to the story, like why have the Titans gone to Gotham? Is it because Jason became Red Hood and maybe they thought that he died, so they went over there to take over Gotham whilst Bruce hung up the cowl temporarily, because maybe Jason's death kind of breaks him a little bit? That is all speculation, obviously, and this isn't a video for that, so I'm going to stop that there. But with the extended panel stuff, I would maybe expect to get a Red Hood suit reveal, because apparently the suit has been made. Now, that isn't remotely surprising. Just because the filming isn't undergoing or anything like that right now doesn't mean that the costumes and suits for shows can't be worked on. So at the very least, I would expect them to maybe show a suit concept design, but then again, they could actually show the actual real built Red Hood suit. That would be really awesome. I think no matter what you think of Titans, no matter how apprehensive you are for Red Hood, that would get a lot of fans hyped, because one thing that DC Universe did very well is their suits are insanely well crafted. So we've done Doom Patrol, Titans, and now the next show, Stargirl. So what do I think we could see from the Stargirl panel? And I'm really dead excited for that, because Stargirl really stole the show, I think, in season 1. So for season 2, with the premise, with the success and the hype that surrounded season 1, I am very excited to see what they're going to offer, especially going in knowing a little bit already from the cliffhanger, well, not cliffhangers, but already season 2 setup that we got, such as the Shade, Eclipso, what is exactly going to happen to Sportsmaster and the Gambler, how Eclipso will fit in. I'm not expecting full-on spoilers. You know the way they usually do it at like a Comic-Con. They may say, oh, you know, maybe Yolanda will have a run-in with Eclipso, and then like that's as far as they go. But then that leads fans to think, oh my god, will Eclipso possess Yolanda for an episode or two? Like, do you know what I mean? That kind of approach to it. Little throwaway comments that generate a lot of speculations. It would be awesome if they dived into how the Shade will fit in a bit more in season 2. I don't know about castings, but it would be interesting to see Jeff Johns or somebody talk about what actually happened in the past. That's not mega spoilers, but it's a bit of as to why he's come back and what he plans to do. I want to hear more about Cindy, aka Shiv. Will she fit into the new ISA next season? What about Cameron Marken? Like, that was a big question coming out of season 1. What about Icicle's kid? That wasn't even addressed. There were some things that fell short there, so it'd be really cool if we got Icicle Jr. teasers. That's another thing, you know, typical comments I expect, like, you never know, we might see a few more pointers to Icicle Jr., things like that. But also, I think it would be really awesome if they did announce at the Stargirl panel, so not the Flash extended panel, because that's definitely not the place to do it, that Stargirl will officially be crossing over with the Flash in season 2, with the Flash coming to Earth 2, or the new post-crisis Earth 2. Now, you may have heard about this before. I've done a whole video on it, but essentially it was low-key confirmed that they were having talks about the Flash and Stargirl having a crossover episode, but it didn't happen for season 1, but they were hopeful for season 2. I think it would be silly to kind of not announce that. I know you could say, well, they just might not have come around to the logistics of it, but I think at the very baseline, you know, for a 1 episode, it doesn't even have to be a 2-parter, but where Barry, sometime during Stargirl season 2, goes to the new Earth 2 amongst discovering the new post-crisis multiverse, since we can't forget that none of the characters in the Arrowverse are aware of this new multiverse with other Earths. I'm pretty sure they only think Earth Prime is the only thing left as the multiverse got destroyed, but there is a new Earth 2. Not Laurel's Earth 2, but Stargirl's Earth 2 now. So I think there will be an episode in the Flash season 7. This is potential, if they do go ahead with this, where Barry discovers that, and then he happens to pop up on Stargirl's Earth in a very similar way to how we saw Kara in that Super Friends kind of crossover episode, which was awesome. So that would be great. That would be so great to get the Flash coming to a DC Universe kind of higher production-y kind of show, in my mind at least. It would be so cool seeing Grant Gustin's, you know, CW formulaic way of, you know, portraying that character pop into the Stargirl flavor of things. Do you know what I mean? That would be so cool. And I think seeing a speedster would be great. There could be so many little tidbits talking about Jay Garrick's helmet, or even like the JSA and how there was a speedster. The potential is just limitless. This would be the perfect time to do it. Like, if they're teasing things, they may just say, oh, you know, we may have the Flash come over to Earth 2 some point in the mid-season maybe, and then fans are just like, oh my god, what the hell? know. But as for the Flash panel, speaking of the Flash, what do I think we're going to see out of that? Since we already got it, but this is the extended panel. Well, we did have it already low-key dropped that Godspeed is indeed one of the big bads for Season 7. But of course, you know, we should be getting more context into this. So if you watched this Flash video of mine, you may remember me pointing out how with DC Fandome Part 1, despite mainly being movie stuff, in that Flash panel, it was very cut up. It felt like there was a lot more emphasis going into it. So we're going to get a lot more opening up to that. Hopefully a lot of discussion outside of the conclusion of Mirror Master, because we kind of know, like, we know she's going to be defeated. I want to know new stuff. So hopefully a lot more Godspeed stuff. And please, I don't expect them to do this because it's like the equivalent of them and announcing not only Bloodwork at the beginning, but Mirror Master after that. But it'd be so good if they actually did announce another villain, like, and it was Cobalt Blue. How insane would that be? And I only say that because Eric Wallace, and I can't remember off the top of my head, he said obviously the graphic novel approach is still going to be in Season 7, but he said it's not going to be structured, I think, the way fans think. So probably not the exact same as last season, but this just leads me to believe, oh, what if they're doing more than even 2 villains? And then we have the Reverse Flash cliffhanger to bear in mind that they were going to do at the end of Season 6, which kind of makes me think, what if they're obviously finishing Mirror Master, they're bringing in Godspeed, they conclude that, and then there's maybe the continuation of the Reverse Flash cliffhanger that they were going to do, or maybe bring in somebody like Eddie Thawne. I'm not really thinking Eddie Thawne, but my mind is going wild there, and that would be fantastic if they did tease that far in advance, but maybe that's giving too much away. Now, what about Batwoman? Batwoman. I think this panel is just going to be, obviously there's not going to be any necessarily a bunch of new stuff shown, but I think it's going to be mainly about the focus of the panel being trying to convince us that they're going to bring Batwoman alive more than ever, despite the circumstances of Ruby Rose's Kate Kane leaving. I think that's what it's going to truly be about. It's the smart choice to go for. Hype fans who may be apprehensive about the following season with the kind of cluster F of a mess that happened quite a few months ago now, but also just kind of reassuring fans with the new actress, the new lead, Ryan Wilder. I think it would be awesome if they did reveal a suit. This is why I keep saying it quite a few of these panel predictions. New suit, but it's true. Why wouldn't they reveal a concept? Do you remember that first picture of Ruby Rose in the bat suit? It'd be great to see the new Batwoman armor, whether that's in concept, whether they actually did make it with a costume test in makeup, like a camera test. That would be really cool as well. But I would settle even for a concept. That would be fantastic. I think they could easily, like, this is why I keep saying this, all of these panels with the new suits that could be applicable to these following seasons could easily pull that out the bag. And I think it would be silly not to do it. And I think it would also give fans some hope about Ryan Wilder's character, hope for Batwoman Season 2 being a really good recovery from the mess that was left at the end of Season 1. Not only because it was cut short, but obviously the main lead leaving the show. You get my point. I think it's all going to be about generating hype as much as they can. Superman and Lois, you know what I'm going to say? More detail, of course, but also it would be so, again, so good if Tyler Hoechlin's Superman, it was revealed that there was some kind of suit upgrade. I know I keep saying it. Say what you will about Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. I personally like him. I really do. I think the suit is, it's decent, but it could be better. I think if he's getting his own show, it would be really silly to not make some adjustments to the suit, like it make it kind of pop more. It just doesn't feel like what it could be. So I really think to generate some more hype for fans, they should obviously, amongst going into the story and what they're excited about doing themselves, it would be great to get some more tangible stuff. And honestly, the same could be said about Black Lightning, not in a suit way, but obviously the shows like Black Lightning, Legends of Tomorrow, just little fan tidbits of what they're going to explore next season. I don't normally cover those shows, but I thought I'd chuck that in there, just more of the same and what I've been reiterating throughout the other panels. Now, Pennyworth Season 2, it's kind of a similar situation because Pennyworth, I believe, Season 2 was filming in January, but due to the virus, just like a lot of other shows, movies, any production out there, it halted in March. So I'm sure we're going to get quite a bit of exploration into that and what they have done and how they're probably really excited to start filming again if they haven't already basically got to that point, which a lot of shows are really now starting to pick up, such as Lucifer, filming their original Season 5 finale, actually rewritten finale, September 24th this month. So everything is ramping back, and that's another thing. Speaking of Lucifer, what do I think we could actually see from Lucifer at DC Fandome? I expect quite a bit, to be honest. And why is that? Well, because Season 5 was literally almost 99% shot. They were in the middle of filming the finale when the virus struck. So when they go back to filming on September 24th, as I just said, they're going to finish finished that rewrite, since that we're getting a season 6 now, because season 5 was meant to be the definitive ending, so they obviously had to rewrite the finale to continue the show onwards for a whole other entire season of 10 episodes in season 6. But it would just make sense to kind of show a sizzle reel maybe of what's to come, because fans would have binged the crap out of Lucifer season 5 part 1 by now, especially with that cliffhanger. So it would be weird to me personally. I would be a little bit surprised if we didn't get any actual clips insight into the part 2, just because, yeah, they could tease where characters are going to go. They're going to recap over the events of season 5 part 1, Chloe and Lucifer's relationship, all the typical actor stuff, talking about what they felt about the character's journey, the showrunners. They're probably going to go into why season 6 works, the showrunners' first reactions being like no, but then they found a story for it. I went over a lot of this in my video yesterday, so definitely check that out if you are a Lucy fan. Don't get me wrong, I would be happy with Tom Ellis and the showrunners and others teasing what's to come in part 2, with Michael's plan coming to fruition, the Silver City, God, and things like that. But they need to, I think they could whip up a trailer, considering they filmed practically everything, and then they're going straight into season 6 as soon as they finished the rewritten finale filming. But also release date, that would be awesome. I would understand why they may hold off on that, because you never know with the virus, that if they're filming the finale and then going straight into season 6, you never know when that could strike. So announcing a release date for part 2 may be slightly premature, despite all the episodes mainly being completed. But maybe they could say, hopefully we plan to get it out late November, maybe early December. That would be pretty cool, but they might just stress that, you know, anything could change. Other than that, guys, there's so much else going on. Tons of other little tidbit panels, stuff like going into the DCTV behind the scenes pilot episodes for the shows, and that includes Gotham. I think they're only like 1 minute to 2 minutes long, so it's just behind the scenes footage of the pilot episodes for like shows like Black Lightning, Gotham, I think Arrow, and other things like that. So get excited for loads of cool little DC like featurettes like that, and I'm quite excited to see that amongst all of this DC TV show stuff. So get your hype for DC Fandome Part 2, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would really love to know what you think of my predictions, and maybe anything I forgot about that could be happening in the following seasons of the shows. Aside from that, everyone, I would really appreciate it if you checked out my new Boba hats on the merch store in the top pinned comment down below. I have a Patreon and a Discord server where you can join and talk to me personally, as well as my social media linked down there. But all I've got to say other than that, don't forget about September 12th. Hopefully I'll be doing some live streams and a bunch of coverage on the channel, so please don't forget to subscribe for all of my in-depth breakdown videos on any new tangible details we get coming out of DC Fandome Part 2. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you people of the DC multiverse in the next video. Goodbye.